What is up, guys? How are you doing today? Welcome to another exciting episode of Coocumber Reviews Behind the Wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I just got done watching Thor, Love, and Thunder. I have been wanting to watch this movie for a very long time. I'm so happy that I got to finally see it. A lot of my other friends have been able to see it, and I've heard reviews. And I was like, you know what? I finished work early today. Let's go watch this movie. And before I go ahead and get into some spoilers, I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, I really like this movie. I loved the chemistry with Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman. I thought the story was really good. The acting by all the people in this movie is done really good. Christian Bale does a magnificent job as the villain, Gore the God Butcher. They have a really good reason for why he's doing what he's doing, why he feels betrayed by the gods. And I had such a fun blast with this movie. I'm just going to go ahead and say, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I'm going to go ahead and just say this movie is a B+. It's a fun ride. You are not going to be disappointed. Although, if you did not like Thor Ragnarok, you're not going to like this movie because it does have some jokes in it, and sometimes the jokes don't stop. It wasn't a problem for me, but I enjoyed Thor Ragnarok, and that's actually my favorite Thor movie is Thor Ragnarok. So that is why I enjoyed Thor, Love, and Thunder. If that's not your taste, you might not like this movie, but I give this movie a B+. So if that's all you want to hear, B+. Otherwise, I'm going to start going into spoilers. So I'm just going to go ahead and say I like how they were able to bring in the character of Jane Foster back. I hadn't seen her since Thor Dark World, which I've not watched Thor Dark World in so long, but the way how they bring her back and why she has the power of Thor, why she's becoming the almighty Thor, and how Mjolnir is reassembled, it's great. And the whole entire thing is Jane has stage 4 cancer. They don't tell her what type of, they don't ever mention what kind of cancer she has, but they tell her that she's got stage 4 cancer. And you know, I can somewhat relate to that because my sister, she had breast cancer. So, you know, like seeing her, you know, go through chemo, and I just remember like what it did to my sister, and I just remember her coming home like not feeling very well and going and sleeping because of, you know, the chemo. So, you know, I really liked the character that they gave with Jane Foster. Like, you know, they show us what happened between Thor and Jane, you know, like why all of a sudden, like, you know, they weren't together anymore. So I was really glad that they brought that in, like, you know, they explained what happened, and her getting Mjolnir is helping her a little bit, but it's also killing her. And so eventually it doesn't end very well for her, but it's a great story. It is a really good story, and I like how they kind of have like Korg, you know, telling the story like as legends and stuff. Like there's at least like 3 stories, you know. And it was just really good, and you know, everybody was probably right. Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy are only in the movie for about 10 minutes. It's kind of like, oh, we got this going on. Okay, well, you guys go deal with this. I'll go deal with this. It kind of thing. And what they did with Gore the God Butcher, Christian Bale's character, loved what they did with this character. This film confirms what I have already known about the gods in Norse mythology and Greek mythology. The gods are awful. Just plain awful. You have Christian Bale's character whose daughter has died, and he finds the god that he worships, and the god's like, oh, it's one of mine. Oh, great. Yeah, your purpose is only to serve us, and your purpose is just to serve us and die. We're not going to give you any blessings. And then he gets the weapon, and when he kills him, the god bleeds gold, which I know that's a thing in Greek mythology. I don't know if it's Norse mythology, but they brought in a lot of stuff from mythology, and I like that. Mainly with the weapons being sentient. Mjolnir is sentient. Stormbreaker is sentient. Stormbreaker kind of has a personality, and it's really fun. They brought in that whole aspect from Norse mythology. They brought in the fact that Thor has his 2 goats that he eats in Norse mythology. I was hoping that we were going to get to see him eat the goats and like reformat themselves, but they don't do that, and I was kind of sad. But I will say though, one of the things that I did find disappointing is near the end of the film, when Christian Bale's character has accomplished his goal, all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm dying, and I'm just like, that feels kind of sudden. It feels like they just brought it on all of a sudden. What would have worked, because there's a scene when when Jane and Gore are talking to each other, And, you know, he's basically like, you know, you are very interesting. We are the same. He says, you're dying. I wish that they have said, I too am dying ever since I took the sword. You know, like with Thor or with Mjolnir draining Jane's life force, you could have said the exact same thing about the blade, but they'll be like, okay, look here, take me. I'm going to kill you, but let me help you get revenge. You serve me. I will let you get your revenge, but it's going to kill you in the process. But they never bring that up, and it's just kind of like, well, that would have just been better served if you had just mentioned it earlier. That was my only downfall, was they don't bring up earlier that Gore is dying. Also, they also don't, they say that he's killing a bunch of other gods, but we never see it. And they're like, yes, we know he's killing other gods, but we only see him kill one. We never see him kill any others, and I would have liked more time with Christian Bale's character. He doesn't show in the movie that much. He's in the movie, he's not in the movie that much of it, pretty much. So I really wish we would have gotten more time with him in the movie, see him maybe take on and take down a couple more gods. I love the fact that they brought in Zeus. The end credit scene, we're getting a new god, and that would be, you know, that would be awesome. Because I had heard that he was actually a Marvel character, and I thought it was just a Disney character. That pretty much tells you who it is. I'm not going to say it. But I really enjoyed this film. I loved the soundtrack. I loved the chemistry between Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman. They did a great job. I loved their relationship in this movie. It was done very, very well. And when we got to see Valhalla, I was like, holy crap, it's Valhalla! Which is, you know, for those who don't know Norse mythology, Valhalla is Viking heaven, pretty much. So, but guys, overall, I give Thor Love and Thunder a B+. It is a fun ride. The jokes didn't bother me. I really enjoyed this. Still, Ragnarok is still my favorite. Guys, this has been another exciting episode of Coocumber Reviews Behind the Wheel. Don't forget to elbow drop that like button and spear the subscribe button for the 1, 2, 3. And I hope you all are staying nice and cool, because it's hot outside and it's summertime. Have a good day, guys.